All right, guys, we're back at it again with another comparison video. If you guys do have any comparison ideas for bodybuilders that you want me to compare to their previous couple years ago selves, and just let me know. This is 2013 Brandon Curry versus 2022 Brandon Curry. So almost an entire 10-year gap. It's 9 years actually. It's not 10, but down near 10. Call it 10. So anyways, Brandon on the right, 2022. Brandon on the left, 2013. Front relax, as you can see, just Brandon is bigger in 2022. I think back in 2013, he was around 220 on stage, and now Brandon was 260. So that is 40 freaking pounds of stage weight. And I would argue that he's in better condition, but I don't think he poses as well. And you'll see that in a couple shots to where Brandon before, I think he hit some poses better in the past that was more flattering to his physique. Now, Brandon definitely tried to play the size game this year. And I don't want to say it didn't work because he cracked the top 4 playing the size game. But having to add the size, he had to sacrifice conditioning, which you'll see the lack of details in the legs moving on. So, first pose is going to be the front double bicep. Now, I will say, I do prefer the way he used to hit it with almost the elongated abs. He has a super small waist, and when he tries to crunch down to show the abdominal muscles, it works, but his waist is tiny. Why not just play that strength, elongate it, and just really show how small it is? Like, just pull a Brian Buchanan and just stretch it, suck a vacuum. I mean, imagine Brandon with a vacuum. I don't think he's ever done a vacuum in his entire career. Not saying that you need one to win the Olympia. Obviously, he won the Olympia without doing a vacuum ever, but it would look cool. Now, I don't know what's going on with the arms. Arms are definitely bigger looking in 2013 versus 2022, especially the left bicep, which seems like it has atrophied quite a bit actually. I don't know what's going on there, but he had perfectly symmetrical arms. I mean, I don't think you can find better symmetry on a bodybuilder when it comes to left and right proportions than Brandon in 2013. This year, 2022, arms are downsized. I mean, you can clearly see the right's bigger than the left. Why? I don't know, but legs are bigger. Probably not as conditioned because they have more separation from what I can see in 2013. Overall, you got to give it to Brandon now. I mean, he's overall bigger lats, legs are bigger. It's just, although he's more aesthetically pleasing in the past, I don't think it's enough to topple his new found physique. So next pose, front lat spread. And I think Brandon 2022 wins this as well because it's just, look at the chest, it's so full. Lats are wider, he looks wider. He's assuming a wider stance as well, which is bringing out more adductors, the inner thighs. But I just prefer how small the waist is in 2013. It is tiny. And obviously he's 40 pounds heavier, so his waist is not the same size. I do understand that. But I just like that look more. Although the legs are not as big, although he's not as massive through the chest, through the lats, everything is still there. I mean, it's the same Brandon, but just 40 pounds less. It still looks incredible. Moving on, back double bicep. And I would say bigger legs, 2022. Bigger back, more muscle back there, more detail. I do prefer the lighting of 2013, and I still prefer his silhouette in 2013. I prefer the symmetrical arms, but you know, this is bodybuilding. You can't give it to a guy based off of just aesthetics, right, and just shape. If that's the case, Samson would have been higher. If that's the case, Rafael Brandeo would have been inside the top 5, not top 10, placing 10th. But overall, I think Brandon is still better in 2022 because he's in better conditioning through the glutes, through the hams. Arms are not so bad from the back as they are in the front, to be honest. And his back is just massive. It's wider, thicker, it's better. Back lat spread. Now, these poses are comparable to each other. I mean, obviously, it's the same person, right? He didn't lose his lower lats. He still has very good developed lower lats. Just bigger. Everything is bigger. Legs are bigger. Shoulders from the back. You can see the back of the triceps. I would say the back of the triceps 2013 looked a bit more impressive, more meat back there, I would say. Kind of crazy, right? I mean, it's just like as these guys go along chasing size, some body parts go backwards. Some, not all of them. I mean, as you can see, Brandon, I think, has improved the size of his legs, but the arms, even from the back, just looking at the back of the triceps, I think they're better in 2013. But overall, when it comes to the look of 2022, I mean, it's a back lat spread you have to consider with. But I do like 2013, I must say. He's not as conditioned through the hamstrings or the glutes, but I'm kind of inclined to give it to him. Those triceps are looking really beefy back there. Although this has nothing to do with the actual back. Like we're talking about triceps and glutes and legs, not the actual back. The back is like the same back, but bigger. So I guess I have to give it to 2022 because his back is a main pose and it looks better when it comes to thickness down the middle, overall size, overall width. Side chest, yep, this is not even a conversation. Like 2022 blows him out of the water easy. I mean, come on now, look at the side leg, look at the side arm, look at the delt, look at the chest, look at the opposite arm on the end over there. Even up to the traps upstairs, the midsection is still in. Yeah, like you got to give it 2022. I mean, Brandon from the side is actually an incredible bodybuilder who can match up with anybody. He can match up with Rami, Nick from the side. For whatever reason, his legs are just monstrous. Huge, incredibly sized legs. But from the front and from the back, you don't see that same look. I'm not sure if he just smashes his knee into his hamstrings excessively. I don't know how he creates that like big, massive hamstring hang and just sweeping quad from the side. But it's there. He has it. It looks great. So, got to give it 2022. Side tricep 2022. I mean, it's just like you can't beat Brandon from the side. Not even Brandon can beat Brandon from the side. It's just too much meat in the arms now. Like the arms look bigger now in 2022 than compared to 2013. I don't even understand how you can have one pose of the same body part look incredibly massive to the point where it's actually dwarfing the comparison part. But now the comparison part is dwarfing the previous body part that was dominant. For example, the front double. For example, the back lat spread with the triceps. It's crazy, right? Maybe it's a posing thing he's not doing right. I don't know if the photo was snapped in a certain way and he wasn't completely locked in 2022. But the arms are incredibly massive. My God. Midsection is better because you can see the entire six-pack. He does look a little washed out, cloudy in the midsection 2013. Legs downstairs are not as hard. They're of the same conditioning, but definitely not of the same hardness. Now, I think there's actually the opposite side of his body, so this is not actually the same side comparison. I do prefer the 2022 side better than the 2013 side. So that's pretty much all poses thus far for 2022. Although I would argue the front double for 2013 probably should beat Brandon because of just the silhouette's freaking incredible, right? So he doesn't really have defined separated abs in this particular pose. I mean, you would think Brandon would kill this. He has a small waist, great set of abs. Why aren't they just fully protruding out the skin? They're kind of blended. You just see like blocks of lines. I do prefer his legs in 2013 because they're just more separated. And from this particular pose, the size of the leg in 2022 is not really helping that much because the separation is just looking, in my opinion, better. But you have to look at the lats in 2022. You have to look at the just size of the chest and more graininess. It's a hard one here, man. I want to give 2013 the legs, but I'll give 2022 everything else. So it's kind of like a tie here, right? Last but not least, the most muscular. Now, this is actually two different versions. I actually couldn't find him hitting the same most muscular in both years. But this is all about size. This is all about just muscle. 2022 just dominates. I mean, it has to dominate, bro. It's the most muscular pose, right? Shoulders are stupid. Chest, Arms are looking pretty good here. Showcasing the legs better, abs better, traps is better in 2013, but you can actually see the traps as well in 2022. So I can't really give the 2013 version of him the win off of just more showcasing of traps, right? More graininess down the chest, but that's not enough to overtake the overwhelming size of the delts of the chest itself in 2022. Of the legs, it's just game over. It's game over. So Brandon of 2022 absolutely dwarfs and kills his 2013 version, as it should, right? Besides the front double in the arms, I mean, he's pretty good everywhere else. I mean, this is just, I mean, the 2013 is perfect. That is just, if he was more conditioned, like if you just slapped on more conditioning and hardness on him, that would be like a perfect bodybuilder from the front. I mean, look at the waist, look at the arms, the absolute perfect symmetry. There's no, imbalances with the triceps on both sides, bicep, man. That's a crazy front double, man. Insane. Anyways, guys, down below, let me know if you think my assessment was good. Let me know if you think it sucked. Let me know your thoughts down below if you agree otherwise. Whatever you want to say down below, let me know, guys. A quick video. Hope you enjoyed the video. And like I said, if you have any other comparison videos you want me to make, let me know, and I'll make them. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.